We're on episode 2!
Woo!
Yeah.
So, thank you to everybody who listened to our first episode and shared it and bugged everyone else to listen to. So, here's episode 2. I have been staring at the stats for about 3 weeks. And it's driving me crazy.
Like, religiously.
Like, I've got a new job and I'm still checking them, like, hourly. It's depressing. I never thought I'd be this person. Anyway, welcome back to TPK. I'm Leah, that's Henry.
Hello, that's me, I'm Henry.
Yep. And Alex, you've been upgraded!
Did I really have a choice?
Well, you started talking, so we couldn't cut you out. So welcome to being a co-host!
Well, I speak more here than I do any other time, so yeah.
As his girlfriend, I can testify that that is in fact true. He
also talks more here than in actual D&D games.
Not true.
It depends on your character. A lot of your characters are quite quiet.
It also depends on how sulky you are with the DM.
Again, good point. But I do try and do in D&D, I speak more, but there is the problem of half of our party don't speak.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're getting better.
That's where I fill in.
Yeah, that's why I need you, Henry, to like help out a lot.
Yeah,
otherwise it's just me and you talking for 2 hours.
Hey, I talk.
You set the scene.
Oh wait, I'm DMing, aren't I?
Yeah.
Okay, so clear some things up from last episode. Henry does not have a lisp.
No, I do not.
We are just very, very much amateur with very low-grade equipment. I do have a lisp though, so you might be able to hear that every now and again.
You say low-grade equipment, but it's still good.
Okay,
Works.
I know you love your new computer, but it is not professional recording equipment good.
Yeah, true.
Okay, so after all of that, we are going to try and set this up in a way that is easier to follow than last time, because you've probably guessed I can become a rambling mess. So
tangents are regular.
Okay, so we're going to do a campaign recap, which is what we promised last time, and this time we actually have a campaign to recap. We are going to do some more memorable moments, because, as I've said before, we've got 3 years of this bullshit, so we may as well talk about it.
Not bullshit, fun with our friends.
You gotta admit
Same thing, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I'll give you that one. Yeah, it's the same thing.
Yeah. And I thought a fun topic would be to talk about how each of us create characters, like what we prefer to do, whether it's rolling stats or point buy, but also how we come up with names, backstories, and all that sort of stuff. For instance, Henry rips heavily off all the media he consumes.
I am dreadful at coming up with names, and it's not my fault that when I see something on TV or in films, I go, how can I make this in D&D?
I mean, it is kind of your fault. You've absorbed everything about D&D, so it just kind of happens.
It's not my fault. I blame Wizards of the Coast.
I blame wizards.
It's kind of true when something weird happens, just blame the wizard.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Or the sorcerer, because they've got wild magic, so don't forget to blame them.
I've got to say, oh god, Kimmy's a sorcerer, isn't she?
Yeah, she's a sorcerer.
She's not a wild magic sorcerer, I don't think.
Damn it! Okay, I've only got to experience it once when Emily turned into a plant pot.
Yeah.
Sorry, a potted plant.
Potted plant. For a minute and no one noticed.
We were fighting off hordes of the undead!
She became a potted plant.
Okay, fair enough. So, as I've alluded to a little bit, I started DMing. Like, 2 weeks ago.
Well done.
How am I doing?
Yeah.
Okay, you were unconscious for one of those sessions.
I was ill, not unconscious. There's a difference.
Alright, you were deeply absorbed in a cold...
Pretty much, yeah.
There you go. Seriously though, how am I doing? Because I've been dying to know.
I think you're going pretty well for a first time.
Yeah. I mean, I think my style of DMing can basically be summed up in the same way as my style of playing is winging it. I don't like to read all the rules because I'm not going to remember them. I just kind of like to give it a go. So...
And I'm here.
That's why Henry's here, and I won't call him Encyclopedia anymore, but he basically is.
I tell that to my Taldore Monday people, and they laugh because our DM mentioned about how he knows that I know a lot of the rules.
You know, like, all of the rules.
Yeah, I've finally been stumped by something. He's thrown a monster at us that isn't homebrew, and I don't know what it is.
Ooh.
Demogorgon.
It's not that bad.
No, but yeah, for your first one, you're balancing like the RP side to the combat side to like story progression well.
I'm doing my best.
Well, you're doing it well, which a lot of DMs really struggle with.
I mean, to be fair, this was meant to be a one-shot, which when our last standing regular DM, Alex, decided to quit, I decided to okay, it wasn't quitting. He was very, very upset that he didn't get to play anymore, and he was always DMing, which is fair because...
DMing every session.
Forever and ever and ever.
Hey, I'm busy planning 24-hour games.
Yeah, you've got an excuse.
Hey, the rest of us, our excuses is we didn't know what we were doing.
Other people could, Ash could have come back and done it.
Ash is not coming back, and you know that.
He might do.
Guys,
Kimmy's done DMing, she could do it again.
Guys, if you think Alex doesn't talk a lot, Ash is...
Mute.
Yeah.
Until he says one thing, and it's the most hilarious thing you have ever heard.
And the harshest.
Yeah, if you're on the receiving end of it, it stings. But, so, I stepped up to DM. I basically went, oh god, what am I going to do? I don't know how to do this. It's not like I'm a creative writing major.
No, it's not.
I preferred the literature side. But basically, got into a bit of true crime, got into H.H. Holmes, Murder Castle. Look it up. Just, seriously guys, it's incredible what this flim-flam con man did to murder multiple women and just somehow get away with it because he wasn't caught for the fucking murders. Anyway, off topic. So we haven't got to that part in the campaign because I've had to extend it quite a bit, but I've gone with a bit of a steampunky vibe. So there's airships. I've got some... I created a very nice, always hot thermos for Henry's character, Jacob.
Yeah.
And let's talk about that first encounter, shall we?
The bar brawl.
The bar brawl.
The bar. Ah, yes.
Where that poor, defenceless, giant man got decapitated.
Looking at you, Henry.
Hey. He tried to mug us.
To be
Me.
fair...
That was a terrible idea.
He just stood there.
He was the, air quotes, intimidating one, so I had to make a point.
There's making a point and then there's cutting someone's head off.
That's what I do.
That doesn't make it better.
So I think you guys should talk about your characters a little bit. So before Henry goes into his sordid backstory, Alex, do you want to explain yours a little bit? Mikhail.
Yeah, he's just a nice fighter who goes around and does what is deemed as right.
What did you say his last name was?
Wooden or something.
Yeah.
Mikhail Wooden, based off of Michael Carpenter.
From the Dresden series.
Alright.
Hey, it worked.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, if you do something wrong or considered evil, he will stand against it.
So one of my muggers decided to slap a young girl in the face for screaming that she was getting mugged. Mikhail didn't take this too well.
No, he went straight over there.
Yeah.
As you should.
Yeah, but you didn't talk to him, you stabbed him.
Yeah, I hit him with a long sword.
He's a fighter, not a bard. Come on.
Yeah! I don't see what you're trying to get at here. You slap one, it's like, if you're going to be like that and in a setting where there's magic, there's weapons and that, and everyone's walking around with a sword or something, you go around trying to mug us and then attacking unarmed women. Of course he's going to go in and try and stab the guy.
I mean, those girls were barely 17.
That doesn't make it better.
And so, Henry, you took on the big guy.
Yes, I did.
The most challenging guy, you soloed him.
I did solo him. He stood no chance.
Yeah, let's talk about Jacob, shall we?
Yes, Jacob Karl. So lovingly named after the first of the Grimm brothers. He's basically based off of the Grimm from the TV series Grimm. It's a bit of a mix between Nick and Trouble. He's a blood hunter, which for those who don't know is a homebrew class made by Matthew Mercer, and it is amazing. Think fighter with blood magic to help him hunt monsters.
Yeah, so Henry's been playing for, what did we establish, 7 years?
Something like that.
He's now established his favourite class.
And it's a homebrew.
Might become real.
I hope so. I mean, it's on D&D Beyond. That's a first step.
But you stab yourself, don't you?
You have to cut yourself to essentially perform your rites, which activate elemental damage on your swords. You also have blood curses, which you can do. I've got one that I can do as a reaction and one that I can do as a bonus action. And I can also hurt myself a bit more to amplify them to make the effects a bit bigger. So the one that you've seen me do the most would be the eyeless one, where I give disadvantage on attack. If I were to slice myself a little bit more, I'd take a d6 at this level, a d6 worth of damage. It would, as opposed to just disadvantage for the next attack, it would be the following attack as well.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I fucking hate it. I've got that and a barbarian in the party.
Yeah.
Disadvantages and half damages and all this sort of stuff. I mean, I'll let Henry off because he also lowers his total HP score every time he does one of these bloody rites.
Whilst a rite is active, my hit point maximum is reduced by my level, so at the moment that is 7. Bearing in mind, I had 2 weapons active at one time. When I was the werewolf, I activated both of my claws. I forgot to mention that I'm the Order of the Lycan subclass, which is essentially a hybrid werewolf.
This is a beautiful thing about being a first-time DM with this party, is that you guys, I can trust you guys not to, cheat me or try and trick me because I'm not going to read up on everything, but I know I can trust you guys to be like, this is how this class is played, and not power game it.
Yeah.
I also hate power gaming. I find it boring.
Yeah, I never saw D&D as something that you want to win.
Air quote, win.
Win.
I don't see how people can want to be like, oh, I'm the heaviest hitter with the most health, the best armor, so I'm the tank, the damage, but I've also got all these spells to save you. It's like, no, pick one.
I thought we weren't going to talk about that person.
Leave it alone.
All right. Okay, so I'm doing okay. But, so, party meets up.
Sorry, what was that, Henry?
I said he's looking at you, Jack, but I don't even know if he's going to listen to this.
Possible.
But, so, party's there, they all meet up. I set it up quite nicely for them to all get to know each other before they get attacked. Muggers come in. Now, these guys are seriously nerfed from being, challenge rating halves. It was never meant to be a fair fight, but... So their scimitars were now clubs, they just couldn't do anything. And so what it ended up being was most of them got knocked out. One guy who didn't get hit once surrendered and wet himself.
You're welcome.
And shortly after this, Jacob decapitated
the big guy.
The big guy after soloing him for a couple of rounds, and all this solo rounding thing was they're like, I do this much damage. Okay, he's still standing. Okay, then I'm gonna do this bonus action. I was like, fuck's sake. He went down in about 3 rounds. His head came off and just rolled away. And what did Jacob do?
I picked it up and showed it to his friend,
who immediately wet himself again and passed out.
Yeah, I was attempting to intimidate him, and I think it worked.
I mean, he had, he was already intimidated.
Is it a success on intimidation if the person passes out from it and doesn't give you answers?
I mean, we didn't stay to question him afterwards.
You didn't need to.
Yeah, good point.
You didn't need to. That, those bandits aren't coming back. They were... It's not... Just don't even worry about them. They're not part of the story. It was just a case of, let's see what fighting happens.
I figured.
Let's return there at a higher level and just be like, now we are the bandits!
No, you put everything in the bag.
Oh, don't rob the tavern. That dwarf liked you.
No, we're going to rob the bandits.
You can't rob the bandits. He killed one of them. The rest of them disbanded because they were hired goons.
Which means they've all spread out. Some of them might have started their own gangs and we need to hunt them all down.
I think you might have scared that one guy straight.
Yeah, but the rest of them...
Again, I don't think they... no, you're not going back there. Leave it alone. Stop adding to my story, please.
It's the next campaign.
No, I don't want to think about the next campaign. Anyway, that one's Alice in Wonderland theme, so yeah.
That'll be after me. That'll be after my DMing.
Which one are you running? It's going to be the first time you're running a actual book campaign with
A published adventure, yeah, because they've got Baldurs Gate Descent to Avernus coming out, and I am so excited.
Oh, you should see his little face. He's really excited about it.
I pre-ordered it when I realised, I was on Skype with these guys and I went, oh my god, it's available to pre-order, and I just immediately went and pre-ordered it.
I remember that.
Yeah.
I mean, before I started DMing, we were running another shorter campaign, and for once, guys, I didn't play a rogue. I played a druid.
Yeah.
And I got immediately bored, and now I want to play rogues again. So the next one-shot, which I'm really looking forward to. Speaking of one-shots, So there's one thing that I wanted to talk about, other than the decapitation of that poor mugger. One of my favourite creations is Moss, the gnome mechanic.
I can hear. I was ready for you to go on and explain.
Alex wasn't there, but I've told him about Moss. He was in the design phase. What do you think to him?
I like him.
I mean, he swears a lot.
He does swear a lot.
He's a grumpy little gnome.
Can you blame him? So
I mean, grow up.
He can't grow up. He's a gnome.
Fair point.
He grows out.
So Moss is like a favourite creation of mine. He is the mechanic on the airship, which I only just realised I hadn't actually named yet, but I'll give it a name before tomorrow. And the reason he's the mechanic is because, first of all, the captain is a bit mad and no one else will fly with him. Second of all, he trained for years of his life to be a wizard. He read all the books, he desperately wanted to be a wizard, but he was only able to manage to learn one cantrip, and that was Mending. And because he's so little and not very powerful, he can only do it in 1 foot squares. I'm so proud of this creature.
I mean, that is literally just the Mending cantrip.
They can do it in 5 foot squares, though.
I think it has to be a 1 foot.
Oh.
Might have to be within 5 feet of them.
Oh, damn it.
Well, you have to... Mending is a touch spell that you can use to mend an object that is no larger than 1 foot in any dimension.
Okay. Fair enough. Well, he can only do it in 1 foot squares anyway, because he's Diddy anyway. He is really, really mad and swears a lot and doesn't like people, but the only way he can fix something that isn't quite fully broken is to smash it and then cast Mending on it.
No after my own heart.
He's not been like, okay, I'm a mechanic now, I guess I'll learn how to be a mechanic. No, I'll just stick
Pretty
with
much.
what I know.
He trained for years to learn that one spell.
I'll do it.
What, you just break things instead of learning how to use them?
Yeah, and then cast Mending, and oh look, it's repaired. Make PC repair a lot easier.
I mean, fair.
Hit it with a hammer, it's not working. Hit it again, and then cast Mending on it.
Yeah.
You couldn't upgrade it that way, though.
Wouldn't have to. Whenever it gets like a virus or something, Mending.
Sledgehammer to the PC. Mending.
Yeah.
Would that restore the software, though?
If the software's broken.
It's not a physical object.
Well, put the hard drive in between your hands and cast Mending. Mend all the info in it.
I don't know if that would work. That would be like trying to cast Mending on somebody with brain damage. I don't think that would work.
Worth a try,
no, it
though.
wouldn't work.
Worth a try.
I don't think that would work.
It repairs as the spell states, because I've looked it up now, as the spell states, it repairs a single break or tear in an object.
Yeah.
So if you, cleave someone's head in so it's split open, you could then mend
People
it
are
back.
not objects.
No,
Are you
object.
objectifying people,
That
Alex?
head is an object. Oh, that's how we can get back about, the poor guy who's decapitated. We get the head off of Jacob and cast Mending on the shoulders.
Where is that head?
I left it at the house.
Oh.
On the nice carpet?
Probably in
No,
my room.
he took it into his room. Oh, Higgins is gonna have a shock.
I do not want to know what you were doing with that head in your room overnight.
He was waiting for it. He was waiting to be paid for it, but no one was going to pay him because no one had a bounty out on the fucking mugger. So
now we need to get the gnome to cast Mending on the body.
No, don't you remember we tried that in Kimmy's one shot? Which when Creek got his head knocked off when he was a statue, and then we didn't cast Mending until we'd already turned him back to real, and he died.
Well, because I was playing an artificer, and you never asked my artificer who joined late because I died. You never mentioned it to him, so he didn't know there was something broken.
I mean,
it was like after we sorted it all
there
out.
was a
It was like
statue
we should
without
have.
a head.
Yeah, but I didn't know it was important. I didn't know it was a person. No one told me this. And we're just like, oh yeah, no, we sorted it all. And then it was like, it would have been helpful if we could fix that statue. It's like, I cast Mending.
I think we did it to one of them, but we didn't do it to Creek until after we turned him back from being a statue to being physical, and he was dead.
Yeah, but I'm not saying we bring him back to life. I'm just saying you mend their head back onto this body.
I just have this image of you going into an ER now and just hovering over someone and being like, Mending.
If I could cast Mending, I would. I'd be the ultimate doctor.
No, you wouldn't, because it wouldn't work.
Your heart has issues?
You'd be a good mortician.
Well, The heart is an object. It's no bigger than one square, like 1 meter in any direction.
I'd really hope not. Jesus Christ.
So you can fix the heart.
No, you
Doesn't
can't.
work that way.
It's a
not
living
medical
organism.
fix.
It's
I
not
would
an
adapt the
object.
damn spell.
Look, I know they call it a guide rather than a rule, but no. You can't cast Mending
That's
on a
turning
broken
Mending
heart.
into Revivify.
I'm not trying to bring them back to life. They weren't dead in the first place until you hit it with a hammer. Then it is.
I'm so confused about how we got here.
And on that note...
Yeah, let's go.
let's
move on.
Let's move on to our memorable moments section, which we seem to have started already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, this is no longer memorable moments. This is just plans for the future.
Yeah, like yeeting the halfling.
Always, halflings count as improvised weapons.
Everyone needs to yeet their halflings.
Well, what I pointed out to Harry earlier, which you may have seen, is that we have a Goliath and a halfling sister pair
Yeah.
in our level 18 24-hour stream coming up, so that's going to be fun.
What's the rules about planting explosives on the gnome?
There
Or
isn't
the
a
halfling?
gnome. Well, you don't want to kill her.
Shape charge. Plus goes outwards. Never mind.
Yeah, no, let's move on. So, speaking of one-shots, one of my favourite one-shots was Alex's that he ran, 2 years ago now?
Was it 2 years?
Something like that.
Yeah, because it was the second one we ran.
Was it the second
Yeah,
one?
it wasn't last year, it was the year before, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was the second one. It was the second ever weekend that we did because you and I spent all of Christmas and through January collecting all of the chocolate coins we could.
Oh yeah, because it was the one in February, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
So why don't you give us a little bit of a overview of that particular campaign and the setting?
Well, the setting is a lot like the Terry Pratchett series Discworld, where you have like all these different guilds. Imagine like Ankh-Morport, but it's underground. The surface world is uninhabitable, and for generations people have lived underground.
From what I can understand, magical Chernobyl happened on the surface world, and we all went down.
Pretty much, yeah. It became inhospitable, so everyone went underground.
I mean, Leah, you were already down.
Yes, I was.
Yeah, you were.
I was playing a very unpredictable drow rogue. I was so excited to play her. She was great, Babiki. I've lost her character sheet now. I'm really sad about that. I don't know where I could play her again, though.
No
Anywhere.
idea.
So, beyond that, we were, all of us were at one point, or currently, part of an orphanage.
Yep.
Do you want to tell us about the site we walked back home to?
Oh, what, dead people?
I'm talking specifically about the Furbolg being decapitated and all the children's bodies being piled up.
No, the Furbolg, who was the orphanage, like, headmaster kind of thing.
Yeah.
He wasn't decapitated. He was ripped apart with different body parts and nailed to parts of the walls and ceiling. And then, if you draw a line from all of those parts, right in the middle was the pile of corpses of the kids who were at the orphanage.
He deserved better.
Well, yeah, he was a lovely, nice guy. So, of course, nice guys die in horrific ways. Every story ever written has
It's a
told you
great
that.
way to motivate your protagonists.
Little bit.
I mean-
It worked, didn't it?
The other way is to have one of the party members be one of the people who locked up the small child, the only survivor of the massacre.
Yeah.
That didn't motivate us to help him, though, did it?
No, but it did motivate us to...
Adopt the child.
Protect the child.
So, I was playing a very predictable drow rogue. What was Emily playing? She travelled with you.
What was Emily playing?
I think it was before she started playing barbarians all the time. I think it might...
So it was probably Ranger.
Yeah.
Because that's the only other thing she's ever played. Oh, and Sorcerer that one time.
She was a great sorcerer.
Yeah. Kimmy was a child Warlock.
She was a child warlock with a creepy-ass teddy bear. She played Clover really well, and if any of you watched our last 24-hour stream, you'll have met Clover and Warren the teddy bear with the green mohawk that she sewed into him. Oh, she's so cute.
Yes, Warren.
So, we all came home, we had to basically figure out, oh no, the guy who raised us is dead and all the kids are dead and there's lots of blood everywhere and why is this child okay? She was creepy as fuck.
It's because she was locked in a room.
Yeah.
Yeah, apparently, for everyone else's safety, not her own.
Yeah. I think you established why.
Yeah. My bard wasn't at all freaked out by her.
The only person who was freaked out by her was that very, very decrepit Aragocra.
I'm an Aarakocra and I'm going to be 29 years old.
They only lived to 30. They lived to 40. No, they lived to 30. Oh, he played a fighter as well. That was hilarious.
Yeah.
So we go on our way, we go start investigating, we get to an assassin's guild, and outside there are a couple of guards who we spend too much time debating what to do when... What dog was it?
Death Hound, I think.
Yeah, when the
Death Dog.
The Death Dog.
Yeah, it was Death Dog.
Sniffed us out and came to figure out what was going on, and we made friends with him.
He was hungry.
The bard did, I'll have you know.
The bard made friends with the two...
The one not trained in animal handling. The one who's trained to seduce people, not animals.
To be fair, the one any people to seduce.
That is a fair point.
So, then those guys come over and go, what you do with our dog? And they're mean to the dog, so the dog comes and joins us. Because we're nice to him, we give him food.
Which is how it should be.
To which I believe we proceeded to kill them.
Yes, we did.
Yeah.
I heavily insulted them to death.
Oh my god, I forgot about that.
That's all I did, just sleep, vicious mockery. I guess I'll sleep them again. Oh, I guess I'll cast vicious mockery.
And then we went into the guild because the door wasn't locked.
No.
Yet another room full of children's dead bodies.
Yeah.
It was an assassin's school. They did not apparently teach them very well.
These were the ones who failed.
Who fucking survived?
You never met them.
They got out.
Fucking hope so. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
It was like a full-on Lord Blackwood from Sabrina situation going on in there.
Yeah, no, but...
Yeah. So, yada yada yada. We go down one hallway. There's lots of traps. We get past the traps. And we come to the treasure room. Woo!
Treasure room?
Are we skipping over Jeff?
Oh, I forgot about Jeff.
That was the other hallway.
No. We went down the treasure hallway first because you told me which way to go when we were coming back from Tesco.
No, because that one was the one that led to the Fire Giant Dreadnought. It was the right one was the Fire Giant Dreadnoughts. The left one was the one with Jeff.
No, we always had Jeff.
No, with Jeff and the door.
Yeah,
Jeff
but I'm
in the
talking about
arms.
what was at the end of the first corridor was the chest with the magical items and the gold that we put together.
That was at the end of the Fire Giant Dreadnoughts.
Yes, I'm talking about the end of that corridor.
It was an L-shaped...
Yes, but you missed out the fire giant fight, which was great.
It was an L-shaped corridor.
All right. Okay.
You get to the end of it, and then it opens out into one of those medieval banquet halls.
I know. I hid behind
treasure.
a pillar and shot at these things because I'm squish.
And then they knocked the pillar down.
Yeah.
Okay. We're going to address a few things because we're just going to confuse the audience. First of all, Jeff. So, you guys remember Gorgrim from previous episodes and the 24-hour stream. You know, the guy who threw 8,000 gold off a cliff because he didn't think it was worth anything outside of the small hamlet we'd just left.
Gorgrim.
So, Jeff is another one of Ash's wonderful creations, and I am sad to say we have not been able to convince him to come and interview. Yet. I'm working on it.
And I can sneakily record next time he comes over.
Which won't be long. So, Jeff, are there any computers or any kind of machinery in this world?
Not at all.
What was Jeff's fatal flaw?
He thought he was a robot.
Wasn't he J4FF?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, J3FF.
J3FF, sorry, yeah. Yeah.
He thought he was a robot.
He got hit. We established he got hit on the head when he was a kid, and he woke up thinking he was a computer.
But no one knew what computers were.
Yeah. So occasionally he'd just go things like 01000101, and I think he had a blue screen a few times.
Yeah, a lot of people.
That's when he went unconscious.
Yeah, it's when he goes unconscious. It's like he thinks he's blue
screens.
Okay, so
everyone else thought he was retarded.
He was also wasn't he our cleric?
I honestly don't
He
know.
was.
No, he was a
He was
paladin.
our healer.
No, he was a paladin.
He's a paladin.
I can't remember which one. That wasn't the one where he kept summoning a guardian.
Yeah, paladins can do it.
Oh, I've never played a paladin. Okay. So
I'm pretty sure he
just
was
a
a paladin.
rogue out there.
I'm pretty sure he was a paladin.
I'm fairly certain he was a paladin. I know he kept casting guardian, and Alex got really, really, really annoyed about it.
I got annoyed when two of them started casting guardian constantly.
Oh yeah, because Emily brought out Winston.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's the background of Jeff, and we'll get back to that in a bit because we're going to try and go a little bit more linear with this. Room full of dead kids who are meant to be training to be elite assassins. Never mind. We go right because I was given a bit of metagaming that I was allowed to do, and we head down the trap-filled corridor.
Those traps were fun.
Those traps were fun. There were things like tripwires and weighted plates and things, weren't they?
Wasn't that when I got hit by poison and then Alex, much to his dismay, realised I was immune to poison?
Yep.
Yes. Oh yeah, because you were a UNT, weren't
I'm immune to poison damage.
So the only person to actually get hit by any of those traps was Henry, and he was immune to it.
No, a couple people got hit by them.
Yeah.
I don't remember people getting hit.
Yeah.
It was 2 years ago, man.
We didn't have many dexterous people.
Yeah.
I was super dexterous.
Because there was Jeff in his full plate armour.
Yeah.
And the elderly Aragocra.
Because I think there were about 10 different traps down that corridor.
Yeah, we only set off like 3 though.
Yeah. There was 3 or 4 that got set off and the rest you managed to bypass.
Yeah, because somebody kept doing detect traps and stuff, and it wasn't me. So, as you said, we get through relatively unscathed.
Yeah.
And we're in a big hall.
Mm-hmm.
And there's some pillars there, which is very key for my survival.
Yeah.
And there was a table, that was very important.
There was a table, yes
combat.
there was. So we get in, and there's some doors, and through the doors come some of Alex's favourite enemies from the Monster Manual. He'd been DMing for us for about a year and a bit at this point, I think. And I remember when he got the Monster Manual, and I remember him spotting the fire giant dreadnoughts. I think the exact noise was, ooh.
Yes, it was.
It's a shame they only move at 20 foot though, isn't it?
They move even less when you when you freeze them.
When I hit them with red frost!
Yeah, fuck you guys.
If it makes you feel any better, you did kill the dog.
No, that doesn't.
We did, that is another thing, we kept the dog with us through this entire encounter.
Yep.
So, it wasn't going well, particularly, because those shield charges hurt.
Yeah, the third.
I don't know what you mean. Cutting words saved my life. Apart from it didn't, ever.
So anybody who follows us on social media will have seen this particular post when, I think this is at the same time the dog got killed. And
I think the dog went down afterwards.
Henry's character, the bard, the very, very, very squishy bard,
with 13 AC standing on a banquet table,
got shield charged by the Dreadnought that hadn't been hit yet, I don't think. If I remember rightly, it was the Coke can that hadn't been dented.
Yeah.
As he got hit for God knows how much damage.
No, he got hit first, and
I got hit and I was like, okay, I'm going to try and avoid this with my cutting words, because that's what Lord Bards do.
Yeah, what were your cutting words exactly?
As it came towards me, I just looked at it and went,
all we just got there was static, so that was great.
Screaming like a sheep in labour was even better.
I think the girliest sound I have ever made.
Yeah, definitely. So, I mean, it didn't do much to it.
No, I knew it wouldn't work. Alex told me it wouldn't work and I wanted to do it anyway.
They rolled like a 19 and had a +9 and he rolls like a D8. So it's like that doesn't even counteract his plus bonus, but like, fuck it, why not do it?
This was the most balanced party we had and we nearly died there.
Yeah, and you even slowed one of them down so he pretty much had to stick with ranged.
Yeah.
Well, those rocks weren't exactly painful.
Well, those rocks were a lot less than the shield charge was.
Yeah, but...
And me, as a rogue, I stayed well far away and hid behind a pillar and shot from a distance.
Except when it went through the pillar.
Yeah, probably when it knocked that pillar down. To which point you moved to the...
I moved across and went to the other pillar. It
Yeah.
was symmetrical. I was playing the odds. Okay, so we eventually somehow defeat them, and Jeff, compassionate in his programming, resurrected the dead two-headed demon dog.
Whoop, whoop. Using one of his 300 gold piece diamonds, didn't he?
I don't know, actually.
Because he had to cast Revivify, I believe.
No, because it didn't actually die straight out.
Yeah.
Oh no, you were making death saves for it.
You can't believe you were doing that.
Yeah, I was doing death saves for a death dog.
So, and then on we go, and we get some pretty magical items, including a suit of armour for the teddy bear.
I just want to point this out right now, because I need people to remember this. I was given a dragon slaying rapier. That is very important for later on.
That is very important for later on, because we got, basically, the way Alex and I set it up, even though he was DMing, I helped him set up with physical props. We bought a chest, we filled it with chocolate gold coins, and then some tiny little scraps of paper with magical items on them. And Henry was the only one who could actually wield the dragon.
Well, actually, what happened was everyone else shotgunned items, and I was left with the dragon slaying sword.
I was busy divvying up the chocolate, to be fair.
Well, the thing is, there was an item in there that was everyone had at least one item, and then there were additional items left over for anyone who wanted them, and people were like, I want this, I'll take this, but nobody wanted a dragon slaying sword.
I got the silent shoes.
Yeah, which is good for a rogue.
I know, I love them.
You did give me a fancy loot, I'll give you that.
You asked for a fancy loot.
Yes, I specifically took you outside, like, midway through the game to talk about items with you.
Yeah, it's like, I want a new loot.
I want a funky loot. And then there was this dragon slaying sword left over. For some reason, no one wanted it, so I was like, alright, I'll take it.
I mean, it was pointless for me to have it.
Yeah, but those swords are good generally.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So, we got the loot.
And we head back, and we don't set off any of the traps going back.
Because you know where they all are.
Yes. We go back through the room of dead kids, and down another corridor. Now, there are no traps down this corridor, if I remember right.
No, not
But
one.
it's really, 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 really long. Mm-hmm. We're walking for how long? 40 minutes?
Yeah, I think you're walking at least 40 minutes.
40 minutes, and then we come to what seems like a dead end, with like a hole in the thing.
A hole in the wall.
Yeah, and basically we figure out you have to drop... Well, we think we figure out you have to drop something into the hole, and also you get stabbed in the hand.
No, didn't I establish by actually doing it?
Yeah,
Yes.
and then I did it...
And I went through, and I was on my own on the other side.
Yeah, and
was
then
like,
I did it immediately after you, and
Yep.
the door disappears, you step through, and it reappears. And it's just solid. Instead of just following suit...
It was 1 point of damage, might I add. It wasn't going to kill anyone.
It basically, Alex explained it to us, it was taking a DNA sample.
Yeah, magical DNA scanner to make sure the person who's completing it was the one who was given it.
Yeah.
And then you drop the item you drop is something from your target.
One member of our party, who shall remain nameless, decided to stick their hand into the hole, get stabbed, watch the door materialise.
Dematerialise, you mean?
And then come back.
And then wait.
Without
and then,
walking
yeah,
through.
just
Wait, no,
just
did
waited.
Kimmy walk through?
Kimmy went through.
Yeah, Kimmy went through because she was too short to reach it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she walked through and it closed. And so we tried it again. And this time it didn't open because he'd already got his DNA.
So the door thought he had already gone through.
Yes. So for some reason, the other two members of the party it was three.
The other three.
The other three members of the party on the other side of the door decided that the best way to deal with this was to go and rip the arm off some poor dead kid back in the main hallway.
I believe that was Jeff's idea.
That was Jeff's idea. He was a very practical robot. So they walked, all of them for some reason, walked 40 minutes back in the opposite direction.
I mean, we got a short rest.
We did get a short rest. But before anybody has a go at us for being like 80 minutes doesn't quantify a short rest, bear with us. So they walk 40 minutes back in the other direction, rip the arm off one dead kid, come all the way back 40 minutes, stick the dead hand into the door. And surprisingly, this works, because apparently there's no life sensor on this thing.
No, it just needs blood.
And so, as the nameless party member is about to step through, because it's Jeff who's holding the dead kid's arm, Jeff just walks through, waving the arm of the dead kid.
Yep. By which point I want to point out that it had been 80 minutes and we had all got a short rest.
Yeah.
But it's also the fact that he steps through waving the arm, turns round to face the rest of them, and carries on waving the arm as the wall rematerialises.
Bear in mind, Henry and I have been sitting here for
80 minutes.
nearly an hour and a half. I think you got your harmonica out, didn't you?
Yeah, I out of character, I got my harmonica and started playing. In character, I was playing my lute.
Yeah. So the rest of the party then have to go back another 40 minutes to go get another arm of a dead kid to bring it all the way back so that this idiot who didn't walk through when it was his turn can get through the fucking door.
By which time people have been waiting like almost 3 hours for him.
Hence short rest.
Almost an elven long rest.
What I don't quite understand is why the rest of the party didn't just come through the door and leave him there.
No idea.
I don't know. It's fine, they didn't benefit from the short rest.
No, they didn't. They had to move straight on.
Yeah.
Where the rest of you got a chance to heal up.
I mean,
Which
Jeff
was
didn't
very
need to heal, he
important.
used a dead kid's arm.
True.
So I'm not going to go through every fucking little bit of this thing because...
Should we skip straight to the boss fight?
Yeah, we're going to skip straight to the boss fight. So this is the origin of Alex's no more surprise rounds rule.
Yup. I gave you one surprise round and you guys took the piss.
Well, no, we didn't. We took a turn
We
each.
took a turn, and I'm sorry, I had sneak attack, my assassinate feature, and you'd given me a beautiful potion which dealt, what, 4d6 poison damage?
Yep.
94 points of damage, people. 94 on a single arrow shot. So proud of myself. That was 2 years ago, and I will not let that go.
What happens when they crit in a surprise round? Because they roll with advantages and crit.
Well, no, I didn't crit. I
That's how
also
assassins-
critted because I had assassinate.
Yeah, because you had
You're an
assassin.
assassin. I mean, I'm not going to ruin your fun by pointing out that I know people who have done more.
Shut up. It's the most I've ever done in one round.
It's the fact that you have like a creature and it's like, 300 health might be a bit too much. And then in one round they do like 220 points of damage. You're like, guess what? This guy's getting a nice health boost of 300 points.
I believe everyone threw out like massive things and I cast Ray of Frost or Vicious Mockery or something.
Yeah, nearly everyone critted their damage rolls and you just be like, oh yeah, Ray of Frost, slow it down.
The thing is...
Oh no, I think I viciously mocked it because I told it his mother should have swallowed.
Because in the story he was trying to turn himself into a god, which is why he piled up all the dead kids and put the Furbolg scattered in a certain way. But the Furbolg had like tricked him and he turned into a dragon instead.
Yeah, he's meant to turn into a dark god, but he turned into like a very confused dragon.
And then this is where the dragon slaying sword comes in handy.
Yeah.
Because you can imagine that I had a dragon slaying sword and we were fighting a dragon.
Yeah.
That seems great, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Henry, what did you do?
Until I polymorphed into a T-Rex. Yeah.
When I caused that initial near 100 points of damage, a particular power gamer didn't look best pleased that they hadn't caused the most amount of damage in the surprise round.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, got a little bit cocky with the DM in follow-up rounds where you targeted this player.
Yeah.
And after you'd finished the actions of said dragon, and they said, "I'm still standing,"
With like 3 life points or something.
you said the 2 words every player dreads to hear.
Legendary action!
Don't piss off the DM.
Don't get cocky to a DM. And then start bragging like, I only have like 2-3 hit points left. If it's a boss fight, legendary action!
I'm fairly certain we didn't heal that player either.
Nope.
I mean, we didn't really get much of a chance to, in fairness.
Well, that's the thing, because it was a time constraint.
Oh, yes,
You
it
couldn't
was.
exactly stop and take like an 8-hour rest. The best you could do was take the short rests as and when.
I mean, Jeff could have done a...
Power save?
No, heal.
Yeah, but...
Jeff did require touch. He didn't have any ranged healing spells.
He could have gone over to him.
And Jeff wasn't in the mood to run over next to a dragon.
Jeff was too busy powering his guardian for the 5th time.
How many pop figures did we use?
We used 3 in the end. I think we used Baby Smaug for the dragon.
We used Winston at one point and we used McGonagall.
McGonagall was Ash's guardian because I'd just gotten her. And Emily had just picked up Winston, so when she cast it, Winston came out. Wait, if she was a ranger...
Oh yeah, no, she was a cleric.
Ah!
Because she used the guardian. The one and only time she played cleric.
I mean, I've only played cleric once.
But those ones are very annoying because they go out, they deal 50 damage, and then they fuck off. Then the players decide to cast it again. And there's 2 of them doing this. There's 100 points of damage, they go away, and then another 100 appears.
They last for 3 rounds, it's great.
Yeah.
No, they last until they do all the damage.
Oh, that's
until they deal
They
50.
deal 20 damage per round and they do a maximum of 60 damage and they last until they have done the 60 damage.
And your players can literally just hide behind them.
Well, I mean, they're not a physical object, but monsters aren't going to want to end their turns next to it because they take 20 damage.
Yeah.
And then can we point out that when I turned into a T-Rex, we had that bust of Shakespeare.
Oh, yeah.
I remember Shakespeare bust.
You gave it to me as my bardic totem at the beginning,
Yes,
and I was like,
I
I'm
did.
going to use this.
Yeah.
I'm disappointed that we killed it so quickly because you, as the T-Rex, you only got to attack him once, I think.
Yeah, I did.
Dragon v T-Rex.
I was fine. I came out of that boss fight with almost full health.
I mean, yeah, fair. So that's the story of our favourite one shot so far.
Mm-hmm. There's another one coming up next month, isn't it?
Yes, so we're playing level 13.
Yeah.
13?
Is that decided? 13?
Yeah.
Or 14.
Create a 13 one now, and then I might level you up again.
Okay.
Woohoo!
At the moment, I'm playing cleric, but that's subject to change.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so guys, we are running over a little bit, so we're going to quickly run through character creations. I am not very original. I like rogues. I like to make rogues, and they all pretty much look the same, more or less. They're usually half-elves or some kind of variant elf. They're all basic.
Nice and generic.
Really generic stuff. I like assassins. They're fun. So, I just kind of... I like point buy because it's the only real one I know how to do, and I've only recently started making characters that are less balanced and more really good at one thing and really shit at others. And I can tell you from experience that is far more fun than a balanced character, because a balanced character can't do shit.
My favourite thing to do is make a character that is super good at one thing, and as someone who knows the rules, I'm very good at making characters who are really fucking good at one thing.
Yes, I've noticed.
And then they're fucking dreadful at everything else.
One of my favourite things when we're playing is you're like, right, I've got to do this check. Oh, I'm good at that one.
Yeah, and it'll be, can you do this, Henry? I'm like, no.
Yeah, but you still seem to roll well enough to pass it.
That's a fair point. I do have lucky rolls.
You do have lucky rolls. You and Emily have very lucky rolls.
No, we don't talk about Emily and her barbarian that never reckless attacks, because she doesn't fucking need to.
Yeah, exactly. She doesn't need to.
Has she ever taken exhaustion points?
No, because she doesn't play the frenzy one.
Oh, okay.
She doesn't play Berserker. She plays Storm Herald now.
And Berserker was what Velvet and Gorgrim were?
Yes.
Okay. Rage Frenzy.
Very bog standard barbarian.
Yeah.
But the frenzy's also the one where if they do it too much, they become really shit.
Yeah, because you get an exhaustion point every time you frenzy rage.
That's what Ash kept doing in the 24-hour, and he kept gaining exhaustion points and just getting worse and worse and worse.
Yes, that's the one.
Now I'm with you. So, I mean, we talked a little bit up top about Henry's favourite way of creating characters. Steal them!
Is steal ideas, yeah.
Well,
I do have sub-original characters, but most of my characters are based off of things.
Yeah. I mean, that's fair enough.
And it works well, to be honest.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun, and that's what matters in D&D.
Yeah.
It's all about the fun. What about you?
Either a variant of a book I've read, or literally I'm just like, I want to play this race because I haven't done it before, and I want to try out this class. Or, what's the party missing? A healer. So I'm going to be a healer to try and keep people alive.
To be fair, in the current campaign, we have no healer, and I am compensating with health potions.
In a lot of campaigns, we have no healers. Because people don't like playing healers.
I do, but I need to mix things up.
Yeah, Henry gets bored really easily. Do you not remember the 4 characters in 4 sessions?
I was the DM, you don't have to keep bringing that up.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to make
Constantly
you mad.
just being like, oh, do you remember this one? Yes, because I ran it.
I'm sorry, please don't yell at me. Oh god, I got
I'm
so
getting
bad.
better because I'm actually planning characters that are more enjoyable now.
Yes, please don't change Jacob.
Yeah, 'cause
I like Jacob.
banned you from
Oh, I love Jacob.
Well, actually, no, you're the only DM who's banned him from getting rid of a character without natural death.
Yeah. But I do prefer point buy because it's a lot fairer. So I have had
To be honest, if I'm playing a long campaign, I agree, point buy, great. One-shots, I do enjoy a good roll because sometimes the randomness of it can be fucking hilarious.
Yeah, but you've also got the one where the randomness can either be like, make someone stupidly powerful, or they get really bad rolls and they're only good at like 1, maybe 2 stats and the rest are really bad.
Okay, so this is how we do it for the server that I play on every Monday, Taldore Mondays. We all roll stats, but we roll 3 sets of stats and then you get to pick which set you want.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
So you roll 4d6, drop the highest, and you do that for your whole stats. You then save that line, and then you roll all 6 stats again, and you have 3 sets then to choose from. So that gives you a chance to get a fairly decent set.
I've done that in other campaigns before, where it's like you roll the 4 dice, take out the highest.
Yeah, but I will admit, point buy comes very easy because the players can make their characters off. Like you don't have to. The DM doesn't have to be there to make sure people aren't cheating with their dice rolls.
Yeah.
And
Because it's obvious when someone is, when they have like 3 stats that are 16, 17 or 18.
Yeah.
And you're like, there is no way you've done that.
Come on, people, don't be dicks. Don't be a power gamer.
I mean, Karl, my current Taldore Monday character has 20 strength, 18 charisma, 12 con, 10 everything else.
Yeah, see, that's believable.
He's a great paladin.
That's believable, but when all 6 of the stats are 13 or higher...
Yeah, that gets a bit questionable.
And it's like, you didn't roll this.
Like, in fairness, they might have, it just then gets questionable.
If you roll 4 dice and take out the highest 18 times, at least one of them will be a 3.
I would believe it if it was Emily rolling, because her rolls are just insanely good.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Did you buy her loaded dice?
No.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I got them from the same place I get my dice.
Maybe they thought, she needs to combat him. Let's make them loaded.
Hey, I haven't actually met Grady yet, so he doesn't know me.
I feel like Kimmy and Emily should swap dice for the next weekend so that Kimmy can actually roll something other than a 5.
You can't touch another person's dice.
No.
I mean, I'd never touch your dice. Your dice are expensive and made of gold.
Platinum as well.
And platinum.
And I've got the caged ones.
Henry has a lot of dice. We all have a problem, but Henry has a bigger problem than most.
Because I have the most disposable income.
You have a problem, but I found my solution. My amethyst dice.
Yeah, I think you mean I found your solution.
You found them, and you got them for me. It's a lovely present, so thank you.
Yeah, if you really want to spend a lot of money on dice, get semi-precious stone ones carved for somebody, because that will set you back about 80 quid.
I mean, my dream dice that I found at Tungsten, and they were $800.
Yeah, that's
I was like, no, I cannot afford
that. No, Henry, no, don't do it.
No, Emily, it was at a con, and Emily was telling me not to.
Oh, that's impressive. Wait,
that's the first.
Wait, she wasn't going to buy them for you, was she?
No, I mean, they were on sale at con. They were $500, but still, that's
a lot for dice.
Quite a lot of money.
Yeah.
For one set of dice.
Maybe if this whole Mimics and Misfits TPK thing takes off and we become rich and famous one day, maybe.
Sure. Yeah.
If anybody wants to send us dice, however, let us know.
Yes, and we will set up a PO box because I'm not having no stalkers.
You got me already.
You buy me things, it's fine. Okay, so we've really got to get talking about the charity stream because we are massively running over time. So, as we mentioned last time, this year we are raising money for the Mind charity. Speaking as somebody who gets through every day with a little bit of Prozac, I can attest that they are a fantastic charity and it's a fantastic cause. Henry has already set up the Just Giving page.
I will have by the time this goes out.
That's what you said about the YouTube channel.
The YouTube channel is set up. I just need to sort the video out. I just don't have the free time.
Fair. Okay, so we are going to be streaming from about, 9 a.m?
9 a.m. on the 9th of November.
9 a.m. British Standard Time.
Yeah.
9th of November 2019. There will be a link in the stream on the Twitch channel to be able to donate. We would love to be able to break our record from last year, which was about £750. So give.
Yes. Doesn't it even have to be much? Just a
little
bit. Because if lots of
and if you can't give, feel free to share because the more people that know about it, the more likely we are to get donations.
And if you've enjoyed
this wonderful charity,
and if you've enjoyed this episode and the previous episode, please do rate and review us on iTunes. Never thought I'd say that, but if you're going to rate and review, please don't do anything less than 5 stars. We may not be a 5-star podcast, but don't be a dick.
Yeah, iTunes are very harsh when it comes to their rating system.
But if you're not an Apple person, which personally I'm not, we're on Spotify, Stitcher and SoundCloud. You can find us under Total Party Killers, and we're free everywhere. We'll be free forever. And we just want to thank you guys for listening and get you.
Final thing, we will be by the time this goes out, because I will sort it out, we will be on YouTube at youtube.com/Dillaby because it's on my channel. It'll be under a Total Party Killers playlist, so it should be easy enough to find.
Perfect. And Dillaby, how are you spelling it?
Dilby. And there's an O in there. That is not how you spell it.
Nope.
Dilby. There we go. It's only been my online name forever.
Yeah, so that is also the name of the Twitch channel we'll be streaming under in November. So guys, tell your friends, give us a listen, follow us on Twitter at MimicsM. We're at Instagram, Mimics and Misfits, and on Facebook, Mimics and Misfits. So thanks for listening.
Thanks everyone, and have a wonderful time.
See you next time.